Okay, so chapter 8 is all about conic sections. So we have to start out with 8.1 talking about the midpoint and the distance formulas. So remember the midpoint formula, think of it as like an average. So if a line segment has endpoints at x1, y1, and x2, y2, then the midpoint is the x's added together divided by 2 and the y's added together divided by 2. Again, think about it as like an average. Then the distance formula is the distance between 2 points. So I'm going to take the x's, subtract them and square it, take the y's, subtract them and square it. Okay, so number 1 there says find the midpoints of the line segment with the endpoints at -5, 3, and -3, -7. Okay, so midpoint, add them up, divide by 2. -5 plus -3 divided by 2. 3 plus a -7 divided by 2. So a -5 plus a -3 is -8 divided by 2. 3 plus a -7 is -4 divided by 2. This guy works out nicely to get -4, -2. Okay, now, they're ordered pairs. I was just grading some homework earlier this morning, and I had a person write all over their test, not their test, their homework, and we were doing ordered pairs and doing the inverses, so we were flipping the x and the y. They didn't put parentheses around all of their ordered pairs, and I just about had a heart attack. Okay? So, make sure that every time you write an ordered pair, you put parentheses around it. Okay? Wyatt, I don't think it was you. Oh, he's blaming Blake, huh? Yeah. Okay, so the midpoint should be a point. Number 2 there says find the distance between 9, -2, and 12, -14. Now, in our formula, we take x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter which one you decide to subtract. But if you're going to take this guy minus that guy, you better do it with the y's. Does that make sense? Alright, so the distance. I'm just going to do 12 minus 9 squared plus -14 minus a -2 squared. Okay, 12 minus 9 is 3 squared plus -14 plus 2 squared is -12 squared. So 3 squared is 9. -12 squared is 144. Square root of 153. And let's leave it right like that. Don't turn them into a decimal. Sometimes we have to use that, and so it's easier if we leave it in radical form.
What is that? Maybe it's just a...
Right there?
Yeah, between the...
So it wasn't, here, let me zoom in. It was a minus, a negative, so I changed it to a plus sign.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the midpoint and the distance formula. Does that look familiar? Questions on those? Okay, we did those notes in all of 4 minutes. I'm going to flip ahead just to show you. There is an 8.1 worksheet, but it should go super fast. So there's only 8 problems. 4 of them you're doing the midpoint. 4 of them you're doing the distance formula. Okay, sound good? Like I said, it should be super fast. Okay. Let's then talk about parabolas and what a conic section is. So a conic section is any figure obtained by slicing a double cone. Alright, now, the pictures aren't the greatest here on these copies, but here are some of them that we get, and I will show you if I have them. Right there. Alright, so a double cone, I'm missing one. Okay, so here's a double cone. Let's see if I can. Okay, a double cone. Kind of looks like an hourglass shape, right? So that's what all of those pictures are. And when we cut it and we slice off a piece of it, we get all these special shapes. Okay, so here I go. This guy says if you take it and you slice a piece off of it, more like this, you get a parabola. See that? So we sliced it right there. That's the shape I got. Okay, if I take it and I cut it straight like that, you get a circle. If I take it, see how this one went through that bottom? If I don't go through the bottom and I slice them at an angle, but I don't go through the bottom, I get what's called an ellipse. Not an eclipse, that's what the moon does. And if I go straight, that's the one I'm missing. If I go straight up and down, and I hit both cones, and it touches the bottom, I get what's called a hyperbola. But a hyperbola is two parabolas facing in opposite directions. So it would be like a parabola this way and a parabola that way. I can't get my hands to work this way. But it's a parabola that goes up and down, or it can go side to side. Okay, so that's what we're doing this whole chapter. We're going to look at those 4 things.